composition.
You know what we drop is hot, so stop and listen. You know what?
This is how we do.
You know that we stop and drop the competition.
You know that we got the hottest composition.
You know what we drop is hot, so stop and listen. You know what?
This is how we do.
Y'all hating these fakes, the garbage they make. White girl, real glow on a bit marvelous rates. I'm what's missing in this world, different kind of girl. Always making hits if I'm spitting kind of girl. It's all different now, this year is mine.
What's up guys, Vince coming at you. This is going to be a contest entry for my man Lite105's 100 Songs Contest. Big congrats first of all to Lite105, killer dude with a killer collection, and you guys got to go check out his collection. It's really cool. I'm going to post a link down below to his channel. So what he wants from us is to tell how we got started collecting, YouTube, Facebook, the communities we're involved in, all that stuff. First off, I'm doing something I haven't done for a while, and I had to show my face on camera. So what's up everybody? I'm dressed up like this because my dog's involved in a commercial and I got to take her to it in a little bit. So I'm shooting this before I go. Something I've said before, I've said it on YouTube, I've said it on Facebook, but this is how I got started on YouTube and collecting. So I'm just going to read this off so I don't forget what I wrote. I never owned a figure until I saw one of Shartimus Prime's videos. Never saw a review until I saw one of Century's. Never had a friend on a tube until I met X. Never made it a video until I saw one of Rob Body's. Never made a display until I checked out one of Boog's. I never made a custom until EJ told me how. And I never wanted to put so much show in my displays until I saw one of Red Hulk and Hulk Smash Everything's video. And I never wanted to step up my game so much until I met all the cool cats that I've met along the way through YouTube, Facebook, all the communities, the A.C.B.A, the Marvel Legends community. This is why I joined, this is why I stay. Thank you to all. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you a couple displays showing like a timeline of my career, I guess you could call it, in collecting and in being on YouTube and Facebook and everything. So instead of showing my whole collection, because almost all of it is in Tupperwares or boxes, and I'll show it at the end of the video, but what I'm going to do is take you through a little timeline of myself on YouTube and Facebook, and where it all started was right here with this figure, this Spider-Man movie figure. I'm not sure which one it is or anything like that. My girlfriend got it for me at a flea market, and I think she paid like 50 cents for it. So she brought it home. She saw me looking up you know, people's videos, and like I said, it all started with me watching a Spider-Man display video by Shartimus Prime. So I saw he put all of his Spider-Man figures together, and he had them hanging from the ceiling and everything. And at this time I had no idea what Marvel Legends were. I had nothing, like I knew nothing about toys. I had nothing at all. So I saw that and I was like, wow, that is sick, that looks totally cool, and this guy is like passionate about it. So I was like, man, you know, and I started watching more and more videos, and my girlfriend noticed me watching the videos, so she brought me home this figure. And I just love this figure. This figure is really underrated, I think. So the points of articulation are awesome on this figure. He's got everything except for ankle pivots. You know, that's the only thing this figure is really missing. Really underrated. You know, nobody really uses this guy in displays and everything, but I think he looks great. So that's where it all started for me. So the next step for me was making videos, and I was watching a bunch of like Rob Body's videos at the time, and dude, he was just killing it. I loved everything he was putting together. He was putting together like scenes from the Dark Avengers, and at that time I wasn't really caught up with my whole comic thing, so I didn't even know what Dark Avengers were. You know, I started to get back into it, and so I'm like, man, I really want to do that. So the first display I ever put together was a Spider-Man versus Hulk, and it was pitiful. It was just really bad, but one of the first guys that responded or posted a comment on it was X. So I started talking to him, and he became my first friend, and I even think he was one of my first subscribers on YouTube. So that's how that all started. And then the reason I'm showing this display here is I saw a review by Century Productions of this Green Goblin right here, and it just made me want to get it. I mean, I just love that thing. And it's still one of my favorite figures. And this is my favorite figure right here. and talking with Webhead, you know, we talked about all the different Spider-Man figures that we liked and everything, and we both agreed this is one of the best. So, and it's my favorite figure in my entire collection. I mean, besides customs and stuff like that, but I mean, just a straight up figure, I think it's the best. Best Spider-Man for sure. So that was my next thing, was making videos. So the next step for me in YouTube and in collecting was the A.C.B.A movement, you know, with Book Nice 10. That was the next guy I really started watching some of his videos and watching the way he was displaying stuff. It wasn't even called A.C.B.A then, and just the way he was doing things, it was just like really sparked my interest more than just Spider-Man figures. Because at this point on YouTube and in collecting, I was only interested in Spider-Man figures. But watching Boog and the way he was talking about you know, comics and, you know, involving comics with the displays, and then he came up with the term A.C.B.A, articulated comic book art, and that just like, I was so happy to be there at the start of that, because watching it grow to what it is now and just, you know, where it's gonna be in a couple years, it's just amazing to me. And it really has kept me collecting, you know. I mean, it's just, I don't have my figures out on display like 24/7. I don't have the room for it. And so to pull them out and start making displays with it is just like, that's what's keeping me collecting right now. It's keeping me interested, you know, and taking the pictures now on the Facebook community and all, you know, that's really sparking my interest now. So yeah, and then, you know, and also the props and backdrops and all that stuff that goes along with A.C.B.A. But putting flair and like showmanship into my displays, that totally came from Red Hulk and Hulk Smash Everything. The way that those guys made their displays back in the day, and Red Hulk still does, it blew me away. They didn't really use the cutouts so much and stuff like that, but they used props and backdrops and just the way they posed the figures, and I just loved it. So now, you know, most of the stuff you see on my channel is all about A.C.B.A related stuff. So that's what this little scene is, and that's what you've seen in the beginning of the video. Also, talking about that really quick, I do a little show. I try to put one out every week, and that was inspired by JRA Nightmare, Red Hulk 80, Solid Snake, Boog Nice, and now there's a bunch of other guys doing shows too, which, you know, that keeps me collecting also. You know, I get to see new reviews and new display pieces, and, you know, so it's much more than just collecting figures now. I mean, I collect all the props I can get, you know, and you can see a lot of them in this display here, and even in this one. You know, try to gather up as much props as I can, you know, just to, you know, bring out the display as much as possible. So what came after displaying was customizing, you know, and making my own backdrops and making my own figures and stuff like that. And the guy that inspired me to do that was Inam Reg, EJ. Him, Solid Snake, and I mean, there's so many customizers, there's so many shout outs I want to give throughout this whole video, but it would just take forever. So, like I said in my opening, is EJ was the guy that actually told me how to make a custom. Now, I commissioned him for this Scarlet Spider, and it was actually the second custom figure I ever got. The first one was from Paint Customs. It was a Luke Cage figure, but I absolutely love this Scarlet Spider. Real nice. And when I commissioned him for this Scarlet Spider, I asked him if he could make me a Flash Venom, and he said yeah. And, you know, he told me what parts I was going to need to send him so he could make the figure. And after he gave me a rundown of the parts, I started asking him more questions of how I could make them myself and everything. And he was more than happy to share with me, tell me how to do it. And I did. This was the first full custom I've ever made. I mean, I've done repaints and head swaps and stuff like that, but this guy's, you know, full on everything. So I'm pretty happy how that came out. And so now that also sparked my collecting interest, was, you know, making figures and making props and backdrops. Then I got involved in the Facebook page. Boog kept telling me over and over to come join. It's so much fun, and I just was reluctant to do it at first because I didn't want another page to keep up with and everything. But now I actually like it better than YouTube. It's the pictures and the talks and everything, and the camaraderie and all that of the community. It's just really strong over there, and I really enjoy it. And the reason I'm showing this display is because the Facebook community has got me into other lines that I never thought of collecting. When I first started collecting, like I said, it started with just Spider-Man, then it moved on to Marvel Legends, then it became like DC. So here that's why I have this Batman Clayface display. But then it got me going on G.I. Joe, and now I'm in a G.I. Joe community over there with my boy Jamal Chico, which I got to give a shout out to because real sportive guy. Great artist too, by the way. He needs to get over on YouTube. But anyways, so now I'm into the Joes, and I would have never now I collected Joes when I was a kid, when I was younger, but I would have never got back into them if it wasn't for Facebook and everything. So keeping the whole theme alive with, just collecting and everything, and that's definitely what they did for me here. Also with the Turtles, so that was another one. If it wasn't for the Facebook page, I would never be collecting the Joes, the Turtles, anything but Marvel or DC. I would not be into it all. So that's what this display represents. So that's my little timeline. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I know I enjoyed putting it together. Had a lot of fun. So yeah, now that the new Legends are out, that also is sparking my interest. Got to pick those guys up. So that's going to keep me in collecting for a while. Also making some more customs and stuff like that. And I still got a long way to go. I have slowed down from what I used to collect. I'm not picking up as much as I can, but I still love the thrill of the hunt, so I can't wait to go out hunting for those Legends, trying to find good deals on them too. That's always a plus. I'll show you the rest of the collection I have. Like I said before, it's all boxed up, but I'll just show you what I got. It's not that much or anything like that, but I think I built it up pretty good over the 2 years. So most of my mock up on the shelf in the closet. I got some other stuff boxed away, trying to get a room together so I could put it all up, but I got most of the Marvel Legend box sets. I think all I'm missing is like the Monsters and the House M box. And then I got just boxes of stuff everywhere. There's the Joes. I gotta open those still. I got some army builders, some props, and everything's just really unorganized until I get the room going. More props. I got boxes and boxes of props. And then all my figs, let me get this light on. I just keep in here, and I try to keep them organized, try to keep them bagged. I got a lot of them out right now because I was, making displays and stuff like that, but usually I keep them bagged up. And like this top drawer is all Spider-Man stuff, the middle drawer is all X-Men stuff, and then the bottom one is like Avengers and other miscellaneous stuff. And that's most of my figures in there. I keep most of them loose, so, and that's mainly the type of collector I am, is just a loose collector. But that's it. So anyways, big congrats Lyte105, and I'll see you guys next week with a brand new BSWS. Peace.
That's crispy.